The wedges are a club that I've been struggling with recently, but in this lesson that I recently had, possibly the best lesson that I've ever had, you are going to see how they went from 0 to hero with my new coach Shane. Sit back, enjoy this one, because honestly, I've never been this excited about my short game in a long time. And it really comes on, and it's so simple as well what he's telling me. You can do it at home, just take note of a few little tidbits and I guarantee you will be chipping it so much better. And here we are down at Jameson Golf Links at the Portmarnock Resort. We've actually played golf today out on that glorious golf course, and we're now going to go through a short game revival. Shane, you've got a heck of a challenge on your hands.
No, it's not. It's not that bad.
But we're going to spend a little time around the short game area because it's a lesson that I couldn't tell you, in fact, when my last short game lesson was. I think I had one from Andrew Murray 10 years ago.
Well,
that would be, like, in all seriousness, I couldn't think of a time where I've really sought out a coach for this area. It's always been on the range or on the course, like full swing. I've never actually, and putting I've had a few lessons on. I've never really done it round the green, so
right, let's
get cracking and save me some shots. We need to we need to stop shooting over par.
Yeah, well, if we're going to win our first tournament, we do need a bit of a short game.
Shane, you've seen Matt's short game this morning.
Yeah.
What's the damage?
There's not too much damage. Like you asked me to kind of maybe guess what type of shot he was going to hit, how he was going to fly it, land it, you know, how visualize the shot beforehand. And I pretty much agreed with Matt on, I think, every shot. It was obviously just the execution, which the execution is never, you know, it doesn't always match up how it looks in your head. But Matt, his visualization of shots was really good. Some of the execution was really good. A couple of technical changes I'm going to add in to a couple of shots I think he could be a bit better at. And it's just about actually building the confidence, because we were out there today. It wasn't a competition, you know, scorecard in a pocket like a pro event. And there was a couple of shots where you could see it was a little bit nervy or a little bit tentative. And that led to, you know, a couple of mistakes or a couple of bad shots. So I think a little bit of technical tweaking in the background. There's a lot of good stuff, even though he mightn't think there's a lot of good stuff. Actually just giving them the confidence to go, yeah, do you know, I'm on the right road. I'm doing a lot of good stuff here.
So, Shane, I know you've said something over there, dobbing me in, but I think there's 3 boxes that I want to tick and whether you agree with them. Box number 1 for me, what I'm good at. I would say this sort of basic shot here, if we're looking to this one where there's, you know, a slight bit of undulation before the green, I've got some green to work with, or even to this flag over in the distance. If it's a standard bump and run, like with my 52, like that's probably the shot I would say I'm most confident with, just something like this, where back in the stance a bit, weights towards target, and I just pop it out. You know, I'm happy with that all day long.
Yeah.
I think it's down to me just putting a few more reps just to get my touch like laser in. That's one thing I saw with your shots on course. Your touch is like, it's sharp, isn't it? I don't think mine's as sharp, even on the shot that I'm as comfortable with. But
you're right, a few more reps would be really beneficial. Obviously, doing it with scorecard in your pocket under the gun,
yeah,
you're really going to know how you're reacting to it. That's a shot like you were out there, you looked really comfy with.
Yeah,
you didn't have any hassle with it at all. Which is great because it ticks a lot of boxes. You have a 52 there. You know, if you need, say, you could do that shot with, you know, your more lofted, your 58.
Yeah.
And it's just going to fly a bit higher, stop a bit quicker.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you just kind of go like, that's my go-to shot. That's going to get me out of so many holes.
Yeah.
And I'm comfy with that. That's great.
I think I sometimes don't choose it when I need to. Like I say, it's the one that I can rely on almost, you know, stand here even if it was the other flag that chap's chipping to, but just this one again, you know, it's just easy that knock it.
Like even those two are slightly a little bit thin, but they're still fine, you know, they're still, you're getting a bit of a margin for error with them.
Yeah, it's probably one, like I say, I need to bank on it a little bit more.
Like if I change anything with it, I'd get you a little bit closer to the ball.
Yeah, I feel like
like
Like angles a lot this way sometimes.
If I would say you're slightly heel
Yes.
dominant,
Yeah.
you know, toe up.
Yeah.
You know, especially playing on tight lies like this, I'd be looking to flip it a bit, get you a bit more toe dominant. It doesn't have to be crazy, it's just shuffling in a little bit till you feel your hands get a bit higher.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's almost like
that's
my put, like when I'm putting, I'm here.
a little bit. Like your setup with those couple you hit there was nearly like a full wedge shot with feet close together.
Yeah.
So just let's shuffle in, like it just gives you a little bit of margin for error that the heel won't catch first. It
Yeah,
won't
so-
bounce a bit first, so you can
So that change like there, it's put the grip up through my hand a little bit more. Is
yeah.
that what we're...
So like with this shot, you don't actually use a whole lot of wrist anyway.
No.
It's nearly like a chest turn, like a big putt, which is brilliant. So this by going a bit closer is going to get you up across the palm and going to lock your hands out a bit.
Yeah.
So it's not going to change a whole lot for you.
Yeah, that feels.
So a little bit closer, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I keep the structure well into it. Like I don't feel like flipping at it or charging at it too much. It's, you know, just sort of set and rock like a class is for me.
You're doing 90% of it anyway, so
Just, yeah, I can feel it.
you probably feel like the toe is gliding on the turf, or even the back edge of the toe.
Yeah, it feels like that sort of part of the golf
Yeah.
club here. Is where I definitely. I tell you one thing I have done when when I would be bad with it, it would be that it sort of on a snaggy lie
Yeah.
digs and flips it a little bit. I would always pull everything more, I would say. But toe down.
So yeah, toe down, shuffle in a bit closer, you'll feel on top of it a bit more.
That feels so close.
Nice.
Oh yeah, the strikes.
So we'll just like, you're not going to strike every chip 100%. It's not going to happen,
that
but it's
felt a
just
bit
going to
more
make, again, making your bad ones a little bit better. So you're not going to get that bit of ground interaction first on the bad ones. So I think we'll just lift the strike, lift the ceiling, or lift the bad ones a little bit.
Yeah, I would
Like,
say
they were all good.
that last chip versus the first chip I hit, that was a worse strike. The first one was better and it's further away.
Yeah, exactly. So
That's just that margin for error.
love that shot for you. Like that would be like, you know, that's
Try and play that
is
as
I can do that shot with my eyes closed shot. Just shuffling a little bit.
yeah,
Feeling, yeah, exactly. It's not a huge change.
So second box I want to check, and I'll be interested. I've not seen the footage yet or like chatted to you too much about what we did in the short game, sort of bit of the in the red, because we wanted to keep it fresh for this. The shot selection, I think I overdo everything a lot of it. Like that shot there, I can see that straight away. There's nothing in between me. You know, there's not many swales. Obviously, you never really get many flat chips like that around the green. When we start getting into scenarios, like I say, I'll be interested to see if I was picking the right shots out on the course. But we've got something like this where we've got like 2-3 paces up a slope, it flattens out. We've got 2-3 paces, then we've got another slope. And then we've got maybe 7 or 8 paces to this flag. So not like loads of room, lots of elevation changes. We might be chipping up from a bunker or over a bunker. And I start doing lots of weird and wonderful things. Like oh, well, I need to open this up and cut across it. And I probably overcomplicate a lot of them. So like from here, I'm looking at this now and I'm a bit, especially when you feel like maybe my short game lets me down a little bit. Like I used to miss loads of greens, so I'd chip it to like 6 foot all the time, as well. I feel like I probably chip it to more 12 feet now.
Yeah.
And this shot, if I got this, I'd be.
You got this in your first pro tournament back, first green, you get this. Like,
yeah, I'm thinking, oh my, like, I'm looking at that. This is what's going through my mind, right? So the viewer might not see this because of how subtle it is, but this slope, the second one, is angled right to left. So I'm thinking if I land this golf ball here, it should take like a 3 foot bounce left.
Okay.
And then run towards the pin.
Yeah, not too far off.
Is it not? No. Like I start imagining like loads of bounces and like almost overthinking. I think there was one on the course where the par 5 where I missed the 4 foot putt, but it was fair, like it was similar to this, but it was more like one slope, but I allowed for like 6 feet of movement.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, it probably shouldn't do that, maybe. But did I pick a lot of?
You picked a lot of great shots, but I think it's just like simplifying it in your head and like committing to the shot you have in your head. Like you know, if I gave you a ball there and it's like, throw the ball how you imagine is the best way to get it close.
Yeah.
What way are you going to do it?
Oh God. I'd probably try and land it shy actually, because like I don't think I've got good enough strike to get it up onto the green and stop in. I'm not like a 1-2 spinner.
Well,
like,
we're downwind here.
Yeah.
Like if I gave you a dozen balls, you might get one close.
Yeah, if I thin it at the pin and it stops dead. But yeah, I'd probably say like my 52 back foot.
Back foot, yeah.
Try and let me just try and. Yeah, I would think this is it.
Excellent.
I don't need you, Shane.
So
yeah, I think like it's picking the right shot at the right time, and it's good to sort of hear that I am doing the
like
right thing.
you were doing it, it's working right in your head, but it's just like, do I need to do something fancy or, you know, really outrageous? And it's like, you've done a lot of the work in your head. What I saw out in the course was the bad ones where, like what I actually really like about your short game there is like, this is the shot I'm great at, Shane, is your backswing is like wide to long to club head deliver. So it's like you're giving yourself enough time to release the club properly and just nearly let the weight of the club head hit the ball for you.
Yes.
For some of the ones out there where it was like you were undecided and you missed, it was like a missed strike and you hit a bad one.
Yeah, a bit thinny.
Was like, have you ever seen a bad putter where they go like really short and they over accelerate and then speed becomes an issue and then it just spirals? It's kind of like a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Like kind of like, get the shot over with, as opposed to, you know, I'm good at this. Let's just let the club come out down, deliver it. I've picked the right shot, and you just executed it really well there. So, again, getting out of your own mind, that was really good.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you on how you played that.
Would you like when there's undulation, if there's like there, I've chose to land it on the flat, is that always the best sort of option if it's available?
The short game, I'd always go to, can I land it on the green? Here, I think it's really high tariff.
Yeah.
You know, it's 1 out of 10 I might get really close. So then I'm going, can I land it into the slope? So you're always going to look to land it into a slope that's against you to kill the ball.
Yeah.
You don't want to land it on a flat because that's going to skid, or you don't want to land it on a down slope.
Yeah.
So pitching it into an upslope becomes more predictable. Okay, I'm just slightly under hit, but it was the right shot.
Yeah. So I have a kick in myself with that now, like.
Well, that's it. Like
should I have chosen a different
What's your
club?
acceptance level when you're playing? Like, unless it's to 2 feet, you're so caught up in, I need to hit this shot 10 out of 10.
Yeah. I think what I did there as well, like my first one, I sort of got a real clear image in my mind of there as well. I was probably more middle of my stance, and it's come out a bit softer as well. Now if I go back a bit more like my first one, feels like a different strike.
Launches a bit lower, ball speed up a bit.
So that's just I think am I picking the right shot and then being committed to that?
Like, you know how to set up to hit certain ball flights. You're showing that here.
Yeah.
So this was one thing I kind of earmarked when we were out on the course. You had one scenario down the back nine of 10 or 11, 10.
10 it was, I think, where my world crumbled. I hit a lovely drive, a lovely iron in.
A great iron shot. I was like, oh, that's all over the pin. And then it just hit a wall of wind and dropped down short, and you were left, you know, no green to work with.
This pretty much, obviously the bunker was, we'll put the shot up for people watching, opposite side, but very much similar to this, wasn't it? A raise up and then 4 or 5 paces of and there was a similar amount of green behind it as there was there as well. Felt stabby. It was obviously the strike, and these are the ones that I will probably cock up a little bit more. I don't stand over at many chip shots thinking like, oh, don't duff it, like please, like worry about taking a huge divot and you know sorts. But these ones I get a little bit more like, it doesn't feel like the rhythm of that shot that the first one we discussed. Like you say, it feels like 1, 2, both sides feel a similar tempo as well, and these ones they feel
like
as if like,
you know, a tiny little window to hit this shot.
I'm just waiting to cock up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And I'm playing in a tournament and people are watching me and I have to hit a good shot.
yeah,
Just get it
I
over
would
with.
say that's probably the sort of thought process. Which is great.
So, like,
Everyone has it.
absolutely everyone has it, but like if you have the sound technique to kind of back it up in the background,
Yeah.
that will get you out of it. Well, hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, when the technique gets a bit off and
Do
it
you,
matches
do you
up
want
with
a
that.
demo with my 58?
Yeah.
'Cause I don't think you'd be able to hit a 52 close
Be
here.
impressed
Well,
if I
you
got
would.
the 52. So this is a shot I'm a big fan of, especially off tight lies. You set up to that shot, fairly square. Might have opened the blade a little bit, but like kind of like hands low, nearly like a bunker shot. And it was like the thing I really like about your short game is how long to short you get. Like it's a really nice smooth tempo, and you like let the weight of the club hit the ball. This was like a really small stabby from here. I haven't created the space to actually release the club, so it was like let the hands run in, like get to the ball.
Would that explain when I hit some of them, they're always lower than I would intend as well? Like if I want to say this shot here, I'm seeing it sort of up here.
Yeah.
And if I'm like say letting the hands, I'm de-lofting then,
When you're going to de-loft it, the ball's going to come off faster.
Yeah.
So it's going to launch lower, and
It's not going to be soft,
a couple
is
of
it?
them like shot out, 15, 20 feet past. Yeah, exactly. That would explain why. And low point gets a bit off, gets a bit thin strike.
Yes, get that. Yeah.
The bottom of the arc here. You're not really controlling where
I
the
get the
club is
full
bottoming out.
array, Shane.
But for this one, the way I would see this shot is I would, like we were doing over there, getting the heel off the ground, but I would spin open a little bit more. So I'd try and really get the toe, like the back edge, the curved bit at the back,
Right.
where your 58 degree, so like that is on the ground.
Oh, wow.
So you'd see my stance there is quite open. So I'm pointing out the other flag there. So I'm nearly like setting up the ball off the toe. So I'm going to nearly intentionally hit a toe strike.
Is that for the speed?
It's going to take speed off it.
Yeah.
I'm going to obviously add loft by opening up the club face. So I'm going to like a slow enough ball speed, loads of loft. The ball just pops and kind of lands dead.
Yeah, like, ugh.
And I get the add bonus. Like the bounce is the only bit going to glide on the turf.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have leading edge heel. So it sounds great in theory. So
Yeah, it makes sense. Like all that, I would.
So I get like the toes there, really open my stance. I'm going to do a couple of swings here where I'm trying to feel the bounce is kind of landing after the ball, so I know my landing, my low point is good.
Yes.
If my practice swing was hitting back here, I'd be worried.
That's
So I'm trying to get-
what I do. That's what I feel in my practice swings.
You feel ahead of the ball.
But like you just like a couple of things there. I don't feel like I stand open to any. I try and square everything off.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm swinging across any, and I don't feel like I'm trying to land the back edge of the toe on any.
Okay, so this is like a
Yeah.
specialist shot. I'd be
It's
the
like
same.
the opposite.
Just for this one, I would set up probably square to most of my chips.
Yeah.
Give or take. This one, kind of a specialist shot. So I'm really going to open the face, set up nearly on the toe, and glide that the back edge of the bounce. So I'm going to hit this shot and see what it comes out like.
Yeah, and you just did that. Like
that's-
all day, you've done that. When we played, you hit loads
Three,
like
four.
that.
So it comes out really dead. It's like maybe spin, but it just comes out dead and stops quite fast.
Yeah.
And like, you could keep going with it. Like there's another lie, even more bare, slight down slope. And I should be able to
God,
do
look
the
at
same.
where that ball is on the toe.
Now, it wasn't 100%, but it's still down to like 4 feet. And that's a horrible, you get that in a tournament, you're kicking yourself. What have I done to deserve this?
Yeah. If I was here and I've got this in a tournament, I'd just be getting the rake ready.
Can I put myself down for a scratch? Like,
Yeah, I'd be nervy over this one. But you just made like when you were stood, obviously watching you from behind there, it's like the ball's here.
Yeah, off the toe.
I've been like this. Like I think with one thing with golf as well, like everyone's, I know this being a coach, but when you get into bad habits and you don't go and have it checked, it just recurs and recurs, and it's like, well, how am I expecting to hit the shot that you've just hit when I'm doing none of the things that I need in terms of setup to do it? But I'm like, oh, it'll get better. I'll just try like this. I'll get the handle low, and then I'll try and hit that.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
it's like it's prevalent to go and get lessons, and even just a little. Well, I noticed this about what you're doing. So you're saying body here.
So let's get the toe on the ground, and then let's spin your body open. Keep spinning, like the toe is the only bit down. So the back edge, the curved bit is going to glide across. You're going to really feel like your path is like really out to in. Hands are high. You probably feel like there's not a whole lot of wrists in this, like the shots we were hitting over there.
You sure we're not hitting at the red here?
So yeah, setting up off the toe, lovely.
Just call the
And
downslope
like, do you know
and
what
run a bit,
I
hasn't
loved
it?
about that? You actually bottomed out slightly before the ball there.
Yeah.
Off a tight lie, nearly off a downslope. You know,
Yeah, that's not the end of it like that.
no,
It's decent.
that's all right. Yeah. But what I mean is, like, you got to have that margin for error, that even a slight misstrike, which can be completely unforgiving on this, is good.
I've not seen that club like that position in years. Can really feel that back edge
Yeah.
grinding there.
Like, there's no leading edge touching ground there.
Weight forwards, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Shane,
How
look
good
at
is
that.
You left it short, played it too well.
Look at where the strike is there.
Like, you even get grooves there. Like,
Yeah.
it's,
Right, I just want to hit a couple more of that. It's
he's like a child at Christmas now. He was actually genuinely delighted with himself. Yeah. Might actually go and practice his short game now.
might be out here till midnight now.
Lights on here.
Yeah. My hotel room's up there, so if I shine.
Well, let's really ramp it up. Since you're full of confidence now, let's get you on a slight downslope.
Oh my. And same thing, this is going to come out
Same
high and
thing, let's
soft if I do it well.
But it's going to come out a little bit lower,
Yeah.
marginally. But yeah, let's keep the way forward. Let's control the low point with that. And let's, you know, you get this, you know, first competition. Give me your practice swing there. Like, I really want you to feel your low point is after the ball. You see there, that's back behind it. So feel like this guy gets a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Tilt the left side a little bit more down. So like that. Do you get me?
Yeah.
As opposed to that.
Yeah, I'm there too.
So
yeah.
go the opposite way, yeah. Don't really lead side with the weight and neutralise the hands a bit more. There you go. So your low point has moved a bit.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Right, cool. Let's give it a go.
I don't think I've got the hip strength for that. I mean, it's not awful.
Wouldn't be too displeased.
I did feel I quit on that a little bit. I felt short.
It was a little bit like hands got in.
The second one I hit from over there a minute ago, or third or whatever it was, it felt flowy as well. That felt stabby.
You shift the way forward and really get the kind of the shaft matching the hill. Not too much shaft lean.
Look at that slag.
Nice.
I probably just need to open the face a bit more
Yeah.
there.
Like, I'm not doing you any favours with this shot.
And I was going to say, like, if you put me here before we went out to play this morning, I'm hitting 3 into the bushes, 1 into here, and I might get 1 to 15 foot. You can see the little zip on those.
Yeah.
I think it's just obviously a touch.
Like that.
Like if we're on a nice lie here, I reckon I can hit it to 3-4 feet, no problem. 3-4 feet, no problem, Shane. That's great. Like that is crazy.
It's a cool shot to have, isn't it?
Yeah, I think from It's amazing how confident I feel. Like, it's obviously super hard turf, windy as anything.
Yeah.
And those ones there that are by it are off that down slope here into the bunker, and they're better than what I was doing anyway.
Yeah, like you wouldn't give them away. If you hit them in a competition, you're like, fair enough.
I'd be like, yeah, buzzing. Like, I've not thinned it into this face. That's crazy, and that's just a few setup changes.
Yeah.
That one's big, that's obviously speciality, isn't it? But
Yeah.
and then I'm picking the right shots, which is great to hear that I'm actually thinking the right way. Just get a bit more simple, see the shot and then hit it instead of techniquing it.
Like, I didn't have to explain stuff over to you. Like, if you wanted to fly it lower, you know, get a bit of ball speed up, you did it. You know how to do it.
Yeah.
It's just taking a bit more time to be conscious about what you're doing.
Yeah, process it a bit better.
A little bit, because it's all there. It's just kind of, you know, putting it together.
Yeah.
And then obviously specialist shots like this, like what you were doing over there, that shot you play with the 52 or the 58 is going to get you out of 90% of holes on the golf course. It's like building your Matt's toolbox, and you've 50 different shots you can play, and the hammer might be 90% of the shots. You just need the hammer.
Yeah.
And then one day, oh, I need something else.
We need
and
Thor's
this is when
hammer.
you need this. You need, whatever you need.
Yeah.
So like, stick to your superpower.
Yeah.
There's no point going out there going, right, I'm going to play this one, next one I'm going to play a flop off my front foot, and
Yeah.
do what you're good at, because you're good at it, and it works for a lot of it.
Yeah.
And then when you have a problem, you can bail yourself out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
So it doesn't need to be overly complicated.
Love it. Right.
It's all there. Matt,
Thank you, sir.
you're fixed.
We're fixed. Be excited to see how we get through the season as well. If you haven't already, we've flashed Shane's details up down below. Make sure if you're over here in Ireland or you need online lessons, you're checking him out, because if he can do that for me in a short lesson there, he'll be able to fix you guys. Thanks for watching, and check out the round here where we're at Jameson's Links.